Sonic fandom is definitely getting their due, especially with the release of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and its overwhelming success at the box office. I mean, you guys have been long suffering for a while, okay? Like, I remember I've told the story before, and I'll just keep it brief. One of my earliest video gaming memories, the first console that I ever got was, a Sega Genesis with a Sonic 2 pack in. So yeah, I've been a fan of the franchise for a very long time, even though I dipped around the transition to 3D, and I've just paid attention on the periphery for a while, even though I did collect the comics, okay, the Archie comics back in the cut, a fair amount of them actually. I don't know if any of them were worth a damn, but frankly, I loved collecting them. So yeah, I've been a Sonic fan for a while, and to see the movies succeed the way that they have, and to hear, there's a generally positive reception around the first couple, I did like that, okay? And I also liked that the creatives, seeing the reaction to the original trailer, go back into the minds, rework it, and then, yeah, ending up creating this seemingly bottomless wellspring of potential in a franchise. Because Sonic the Hedgehog 4 has already been greenlit. Jim Carrey's talking about wanting to come back to the role. There's no reason to expect that this gravy train is going to stop anytime soon. And especially when it's as popular as it is, #1 movie in America over Christmas. But I also think that this has helped out. And I'm not just talking, okay? Not just because everything that I hear. Like, this isn't one of those things where it's just appealing to Sonic fans. Everybody who reviews it says that it's at least good, if not the best in the series. So yeah, that's amazing, okay? And also with Sonic 3's very clever marketing ahead of release, and also the inclusion of Jim Carrey as Santa Robotnik, does that mean that Sonic 3 is going to get revisited around this time every year, and it's going to become a Christmas movie? Is Sonic 3 now a Christmas movie? As if it didn't have enough good things going for it. Something else I like to highlight, I do this a lot, especially when I'm talking about, a little game called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's just, I'm right here on the, the official Sonic the Hedgehog account, okay, where they're promoting the hell out of the movie, but also promoting the hell out of the fans who are also very passionate about the project, and they're just retweeting all the fan art, everybody coming out saying, hey, I had a great time at the theater, taking the side of their big star Ben Schwartz there. And yeah, I love to see this stuff, and this is why I'm happy when a movie like this succeeds, even though haven't seen it quite yet, but I would like to go ahead and fill in that gap of knowledge going and seeing the first 3 films and know that they're not terribly long, which is another great thing that they have going for them. So yeah, I like the fact that the film is winning, and I also like the fact that they are throwing it in the face of the lying Walt Disney Corporation. 2025, it's going to be a tough year for Disney, okay? They can go ahead and try to claim that they're the #1 movie in the world for a second week in a row, and then getting summarily community noted for a second week in a row by Mufasa isn't the #1 movie in America. It's Sonic 3. And yeah, we got the numbers right here. Okay, we got the numbers. And yeah, for New Year's Day, Mufasa ended up taking it. Okay, even though you look at that total gross, that domestic box office number, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and if you go, you just simply go to, New Year's Eve, you can also see that Sonic 3 won the day right there. So yeah, it just seems to be, right? Because on Christmas Day, Mufasa ended up winning, huh? And then on New Year's Day, Mufasa ended up winning, but every other day around it, Sonic 3 is winning. So I'm wondering if there's some interesting mathematics going on here, and then especially with an incredibly soft slate of movies coming in this weekend, I'll be interested to see if Sonic doesn't end up winning the weekend and Disney come Monday try to reframe the narrative by saying, well, actually we're the #1 movie in the world again, but in reality, no, they continue to fall behind, because this is the first time in a long time. And yeah, you can once again take a look at New Year's Eve just as proof of concept on that. The per theater totals constantly overperforms, even though they're in about 350 fewer screens, which is wild, given the movie is constantly in the first or second place. You're not giving it any additional screens. It opened with, for what I can recall, 3,761 theaters, so it only got 8 additional screens, and it continues to punch well above its weight class, because you take a look at the projections that are there, and yeah, Sonic is just blowing it out the water. The yellow number is your actual, and then you got your projected numbers right there, and yeah, it's performing well above the entire time, and it doesn't show any sign sign of slowing down. Like I said, there are a couple of wide releases that are coming out this weekend, but none of them are notable. It didn't ring a bell at all whatsoever. And yeah, the competition that is out there right now, like Sonic 3 hits a different demographic than the other popular films that are there. And once we get an accurate update on the international box office, it'll be very interesting to see. It'll be very interesting to see because from what I can tell, there's definitely quite a bit of money being left on the table in the form of the worldwide box office, because you just simply take a look at Sonic 2, okay? And that's what, $215 million outstanding? Yeah, that seems to also be the case with at least proportionate to, the original that dropped in February of 2020. And then, of course, those films did, exponentially better on streaming as well, which, of course, you got to have the caveat of 2020, early 2020 for Sonic, but things being relatively that was early 2022 for Sonic 2, so yeah, some places were still closed down, but even making $400 million, $300 million for the first one, you more than made back your money. Turned to profit, for sure, on that $300 million. And then, of course, on the $400 million, it goes without saying. But yeah, the production budget, which is crazy for something that is so dependent on quality special effects, which I haven't heard anything bad about the special effects. In fact, they're pretty convincing and they look good from the clips that I've seen. $122 million? That definitely embarrasses Disney, which I don't even know what the production budget for Mufasa is. I would imagine it's at least twice that, and it looks 3 times as worse. So yeah, leaving Sonic in the theaters for a little bit longer because as it sits, it still hasn't quite made back its budget, especially when you do the movie math on that 2.5 times, because when it comes to domestic box office, you only get 60% of the tickets, you only get 40 to 50% to the international, so it's got to sit there for a minute in order to recoup its costs, which is why this seems so absolutely stupid. Well, there's a date being released already. Why would you do that? Why would you cut the legs off of, no pun intended, of a movie that is absolutely cooking right now, especially at a time when there's nothing in the theaters? Like, I remember in the beginning of 2024, what was it? Aquaman 2 and Wonka were dominating January, even with new releases coming out. Like, wasn't Argyle in the first couple of weeks? Yeah, exactly. Who remembers that? Outside of the people that were reminded of its existence with all of those biggest disasters of 2024 top 10 lists. But yeah, there's no reason to kick this to streaming, okay? And especially with its streaming date right around the corner. According to When to Stream, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is expected to debut digital streaming premium video on demand Tuesday, January 21st. One day after a month in the theaters, you send it to streaming? Paramount, you're stupid. But then again, we've known that for a long time. Now, this is just a rumor. This is just early chatter because Amazon put up their purchase prices and all that stuff. Okay, taking a look at this. Prime Video has Sonic the Hedgehog 3 up for pre-orders at $24.99, which is also the film's digital purchase price. Since digital rentals are typically $5 less than purchase price, you can rent Sonic 3 for $20 for a 48-hour period, which is, holy crap, I remember when the likes of the Blockbuster were open, Rogers Video and other local shops were out there, and it was $5 for a new release, and depending on where you're at, you could get dollar back catalog stuff. But the landscape has changed, and not for the better. And Hollywood is definitely finding that out, which is why 2025 is definitely going to be a pivotal year. It's just starting it off so stupidly because, in contrast, Mufasa, there's no digital release date. There's no Disney Plus announcement for that, and there won't be anytime soon because the only thing they have to be weary of, potentially stepping on any feet ahead of Captain Black Falcon America, man. And at this point in time, with all the news we've heard surrounding that, they might want to let the Mufasa card play for a little bit longer. But let's talk about the success of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Like I said at the beginning, even ahead of the release of Sonic 3, because Paramount could see the numbers. They greenlit Sonic 4. So where exactly does this franchise go? There's been a spin-off TV show for Knuckles, which makes a lot of sense. But what else? What else could happen? And especially, I gotta make some connections here. Sonic being released by Paramount. What else? What other big video game franchise is also under the Paramount banner? I guess, in a certain sense, the Illumination banner. All right, that would be Mario. Ben Schwartz, okay? the voice of Sonic, says we're getting closer to a Super Smash Bros. Team-up movie as Sonic the Hedgehog 3 runs rings around the box office. Ben Schwartz wants big things from Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, include teaming up with Nintendo for a Super Smash Bros. Movie. I mean, that would be... I think that's the end point for the NCU, which is interesting because we haven't really heard much out of Nintendo after the big 2023 that they had with the Super Mario Brothers movie. It came from Illumination, which is under the parent company of Paramount. See where the connection is right there. And then a couple of weeks after its release and its big success, we heard that Sony is developing a live-action Legend of Zelda movie. But we haven't heard any other announcements, any confirmations, any updates on any of the stuff that's out there for a sequel to Super Mario Brothers, or any real confirmation outside of just Shigeru Miyamoto hopping on Twitter one evening going, yeah, I'm working on a script for Legend of Zelda. It's like, I beg your pardon? That's quintessential Nintendo, and to just go ahead and make headline news like that in the middle of the night when nobody's paying attention. Them heading towards a big Super Smash Brothers team up, it's like, that totally makes sense. You're going to go ahead and properly establish multiple IPs, do a Metroid movie. That seems like easy money that's on the table. Do something with Kirby, whatever it is, hopefully that it's super experimental, or just do like a low budget horror movie where it's kind of like The Blob. That could be fun. But I would also think doing not quite hopping all the way to Super Smash Brothers, but doing a Civil War style face-off between Sonic and Mario. I mean, as a child of the 90s, seeing that on the big screen, that would be cool as hell. So yeah, let's not rush all the way towards the Super Smash Brothers movie, okay? I want to see Mario versus Sonic. Sonic can bring Knuckles and Tails. Mario can bring, I don't know, Luigi and Toad. Would that be fair? Have Amy and Peach square off. That'd be cool as hell. Bowser vs. Big the Cat, fish off. That'd be great. With movies like Universal's, the Super Mario Brothers movie and Paramount's a Sonic the Hedgehog franchise leveling up at the box office, film adaptation of video games are finally being taken seriously in Hollywood. Though many see Mario and Sonic as competitors, times regarding crossovers and team-ups across rival IPs are changing. Well, yes, walking on the blue carpet for Sonic the Hedgehog 3's premiere, Sonic voice actor Ben Schwartz told Variety that a team-up of epic proportions could happen as a Super Smash Brothers movie, while noting it. While nothing is in the works, a film based on Nintendo's legendary platform fighting game would be monumental. And now I can't stop thinking about the possibilities. Yeah, exactly, because you got Legend of Zelda over at Sony, you've got Universal with Mario, you've got Paramount, Skydance, whatever is going on with Sonic over there. Hollywood's in a desperate spot, and after 2025, yeah, I don't know what kind of shape they're going to be in, but I'd imagine they're going to be willing to wheel and deal as opportunities start to dry up and as desperation creeps in. So yeah, I think it's possible. I don't think it's highly likely that we see it anytime soon. It's just, the kid in me kind of, even just superficially, wants to see Sonic and Mario team up on the silver screen. That would definitely get me back to the theaters. That is definitely the direction that both franchises could benefit from. It's not like they won't be successful on their own. It's just at a time when Hollywood looks just so dour, so down, so creatively bankrupt. Just doing something fun like this, doing a team up between, at one point in time, the two biggest icons in video gaming. I mean, it seems like a slam dunk, but will they do it? Who knows, man? Time will tell. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.